You wanted to learn about gift deposit, which I think you need to know, right? Whether you could use it, that's an other thing. But any investors need to know that gifted deposit. Basically, what the definition is: when someone would gift you some money to buy a house. In a nutshell, that's what it is. Okay, so before you go into that, you need to find out what the banks usually accept the gifted deposit from. Most banks would like a deposit to come from a family member, right? So who is a family member? A family member could be your mother, your father, your uncle, your siblings, right? Most banks rather these sort of people to gift you the money because they know it's a family member. Okay, some banks don't even accept it altogether, but most banks accept it. Okay, so that's number one. That's what it is and what sort of people they normally would happy to take on the deposit or to take the deposit from. But that doesn't necessarily mean someone else will not gift you, right? It depends on that specific lender because each lender's criteria are different. Okay, but they want to see that relationship because someone who doesn't relate to you, why would they give you, say, 50 or 100,000 pounds? Okay, but if you can support your argument, brilliant. It's one of the best ways to not put down lots of money buying houses.
So let me just understand that point. What I don't understand is the connection between that and not putting a lot of money down.
Yeah, I will get to that. Okay, so let's get to that part first. So now you know what it is, what sort of people they may accept it for. And you might be thinking now, what is the limit? How much can someone gift you? There is no limit on it. They can gift you anyhow, and there's no tax burden. And usually, if there's and usually the gifted deposit are normally for someone to buy a house, someone who can afford to buy a house, okay, to live in, right? There may be a gray area if you're looking to invest it. Yes, I remember where I stopped. I'm talking about proof, right? The gifted deposit needs to have a source and proof. So what do I mean by that? It needs to come from someone that knows you, right? And secondly, they need to be able to prove where that money came from, right? Like normal when you're buying a house, basically, right? They need to know where that money came. If you remember now, because you've done this already, they look where the money is coming from. They follow the money. Solicitors are. Okay, so they need to be able to provide an evidence to say, okay, either come from my savings or it come from my business that I do. However way they can kind of justify where that money came from would be needed. Okay, and also they would need to have a letter confirming that they have gifted you the money and they do not expect it to be repaid back or interest to be paid on it because it's not a loan. Right? That then kind of make you find out what is the benefit to you. For example, in this case, the benefit you get, suppose you're buying a house, okay, let's say the house worth 100,000 pounds. Yes, at 100,000 pounds you would need to put down 25%, right? Okay, so if you need to put down 25%, that is 25,000 pounds, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if it is 25,000 pounds, you need to put that money up front. Okay? However, if someone is gifting you that money, suppose they're gifting 10% of that, right? You're getting 10,000 pounds. Okay? It reduces the amount of money you pay. Now, let me give you the example as if you're buying a house, because that way you make more sense. As you're buying a house to live in. If you're buying a house to live in, mortgage providers are there that can lend you 10%, 15%, and 25%. Right? Let's say you've got a lender, so 100,000 is how much you're buying that house. So if you're buying a house to live in, normally the bank would ask you to pay 25 to 10%. Right? Let's assume if you're buying it at 10%, right? What would be your mortgage at 10%? It would be 90,000, right? Put the 90,000 down. Yeah? Your mortgage, 90,000. Okay? Brilliant. So let's now say your interest on this 90,000 is say 6%. Yeah. So below, yeah, put interest payment. Yeah. So now you're gonna do equal to 90 times 6%.
That's presented to 0.06, right?
Correct. So that's your annual mortgage interest payment at that point. Okay. So now go to column C. Do 100,000 now,
Sorry.
or however space you want to do it. Yeah. Yeah. 100,000. Okay. So let's assume now someone has gifted you the deposit. Say someone gifted you, let's say they gifted you 15%, right? Once they've gifted you 15% plus the 10% you already have, that gives you 25%, right? So put now 25% of 100,000 is how much?
It's 25,000.
Correct. So now the bank will lend you how much?
85,000.
No, 75,000.
Sorry, 75,000.
Right. Okay. So put 75,000. Okay. So what I like you to do, you see the 5,400, drag that across. No, yeah, that's it. You know that thing? That's it. Drag it. Okay. Stop there. So make that bigger now so you can see. Okay. Now you see why it's lower, right? You see the interest you pay now, if it was 10% deposit, you're paying 5,400, right? Because the loan is bigger, right? So it costs you more. Okay?
So the thing is that gifted deposit has to be a real gift from somebody.
Absolutely. Yeah, it needs to be a real gift. Okay? So now, if that person would have not gifted you, you bought the property at 10% or 15%, right? You pay higher interest because the loan would be bigger.
So this is based on what is this? Is this it? What we did here was 10% deposit, right?
Yes, 10% deposit with 15% being gifted. No, sorry, my bad. Without any gift.
Oh.
10% without any gift.
I just want to write it
without gift. Yeah.
So here I'm paying 25. Oh, but I paid only 10,000.
Correct. Because if you're living in the property,
10%.
you can do 10%, you can do 15%, you can do up to 25%.
Okay, so
yes.
Now give at, let me just say at 10% deposit, right?
Correct.
Here is with gift of what?
15%, and you put down the 10%.
So in this case, we are going for a 25% deposit as
Correct.
well.
Yes, because we're increasing our money that we're putting down. So how are we able to increase that? We're able to increase that because we got a family member or a friend who said, I will give to the 15%. Right? So you've got less money to put down, and also you've got less interest to pay because the loan is lower.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the reason why people would want someone to gift them the money. Because it reduces it reduces the interest rates as well as the money that they put down.
It reduces the air.
Okay.
So what is the so first of all, would you advise this sort of strategy?
Yes, if you get someone who will gift you the money, why not? Yeah, why not? Right? They could gift you the money.
As an investor or anything.
Right, they could gift you the money. You remember, I think that's what the solicitor was saying to you. I need to provide evidence to make sure it's legitimate gift. Right? Because normally people will not gift you to start business. They will lend you to start business or to do business. Right? If they're going to gift you, we want to show an evidence. Solicitor signing saying, yes, I'm gifting her to start doing this. I'm gifting her to do this. Because it doesn't sound logical. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
For someone to gift you to buy investment properties.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's true.
That's the downside of it. But if you can justify it and it's not a regular gift, right, then it would make sense. Right? You're not going to get a gift from that house, then get another gift. The people that say I'm get gift to build a multi-million property portfolio is at the initial stage. It would have been. Initial stage, my mom gifted me £100,000. I bought a house. Somehow, I lived in the house for 2-3 months, remortgaged it to a let to buy, and then I used that money and start building my portfolio. Right? This is the thing that they won't tell you. Right? Because it's a bait. In most cases, it's a bait to either join their program or to follow them or to do something like that. Okay? But the gift normally happens once. Okay? It doesn't happen on a regular basis. But it's become a foundation of your investment. Right? Suppose someone gifted you 25,000, for example, you didn't have to put any money down, right? You then
what happens? The bank will just give me.
The bank will just give you the loan, and they will just have to look at your affordability. So, okay, would Runo be afford to live in that house and pay the mortgage every month? Now she got someone gifting her the deposit. If the answer is yes, you don't have to put a penny in it. Right? So what then you would do?
Let's say would directly pay to the solicitors, and solicitors.
It doesn't matter how you got the money, either to you or to solicitor. It doesn't matter. The person who's gifting just have to justify why they're gifting it the money and writing it down. They're not going to be collecting that money from you ever and ever. Amen. Okay? And also, they should not die within 7 years after they've gifted you. Right? Seriously, if they die within 7 years, you pay tax on it, 40%.
Inheritance, isn't it?
Yes. So you make sure that person's gifting is not going to die in 7. Do whatever it takes so they live for 7 years.
Go to the Babalawo in Sierra Leone, Guinea.
Pardon?
Well, just
The soothsayer in Guinea or Sierra Leone.
Yeah, exactly. So make sure you go and check them first. Say they're going to live for 7 years, okay?
because they don't have babies.
Yeah, because if they don't live for 7 years, you have to pay 40. And I'm not sure if you remember, 10 years ago, right? The Queen gifted all her assets to her children. Do you remember that?
Exactly.
That then
To prevent taxes.
correct. So that then prevent them from paying that 40%.
And she didn't die within 7 years.
Exactly. That's why they prolong her death. Sorry, I'm joking. I'm joking,
wow.
right? But yeah, so the person should not die within 7 years, okay?
Okay.
So anything after 7 years, you don't pay tax, she doesn't pay tax, or he doesn't pay tax. Okay?
Okay.
So that's the basis you could do to start your investment, right? So sometimes it happens like that. In my case, I'll give an example. I did not get a gift, but how I started mine is by joint venturing with my landlord, if you remember, right? He put down the money, we get our first house, right? It doesn't mean he give me money all the time, but that was my base because he allowed me to start without putting anything down. He did it on the second property.
So whose name was the property here?
But I was taking the contract. I wasn't buying, I was renting. I'm just giving an example. So when someone told you I use gift to build my million portfolio, what I'm telling you is it's not continuous gift, right? It's one-off gift. But they take the opportunity to use that advantage to build their portfolio. Making sense?
Yeah.
So that's what it means. So in this example then, if you got more gift, you pay less interest and less money in. And if you don't get gift, high interest and high loan.
Yeah. I get
Okay?
it.
So that's how gift works, right? And the key things to take away from it, the person should not die in 7 years. The second thing to take away from it is they need to provide a source of where that money came from. Thing that you need to consider is how you can forge that relationship with them. Because you don't want it to be a stranger. A stranger will not gift a stranger. Okay? So that you need to understand. And also if you're doing it for investment purposes, find out, or be ready actually to answer any questions that they may ask in regards to why this person gifted you. Because at that point, your representative, your solicitor, you'll be thinking they are against you. Because they'll be like asking you all this, you'll be thinking, oh, these people meant to represent me. Why are they going against me? They're not going against because it's rare for someone who's not related to you to gift you money. They can lend you the money, loan you the money, but they cannot gift it. That's the reason why you have to justify that. Once that's justified, then the money would be yours. Okay? So that's the way you could do it in terms of gifted thing. If you're clever then, if you haven't bought your own residential home yet, right, and it's going to be an expensive property, what you could do, you can get them to gift you the money. You buy that, you stay in that house for about a year or so, change it to let to buy, pull that money out, you go again, start building your portfolio that way. You could do it that way.
Yeah, right. Say that again. If I haven't bought a residential home yet.
Say for example, now if you haven't got a residential home, right, you haven't got a place to live that you call home, right, if you're renting, you can find a property, get someone to gift you like the way we did here. Because when they gift you 25,000, you've already got 25,000 from day one. You have not just realized it yet.
Yeah.
Because it has to go towards the property. So what the clever people will do, they will sit on that property for like a year or two and remortgage, because at that time you have lots of more money coming to you then. Right? You use that money then to start investing in property.
Yeah.
So that could be a way to do it.